So I'm guessing you guys read the title of the video, that's why you clicked it. And yes, if you didn't know, the production of petrol cars are banned from the year 2030 in the EU. In other words, Ferrari, BMW, Porsche and all those huge names in the motoring industry won't be able to make any new cars with a traditional combustion engine. You'll still be able to buy petrol cars on the second-hand market, but no new cars. Now if you're like me, the first thing that pops into your head is why? The whole idea of a world with no twin-turbo V8 M5s, no 911 turbos, hell, no turbos. Imagine a world with no turbos. Imagine a world with none of these sounds. Honestly, it sounds like a nightmare, but is it really as horrible as it sounds? Yes and no. Let's start with why yes. Because the technology of the combustion engine has been improved on so much that companies can make unfathomable power out of relatively small engines. But in the same breath, you can say electric cars make way more power out of even smaller engines. I mean, you can literally fit 4 electric engines in a car and still have a huge boot. Well, actually 2 boots, because like there's no engine in the front. You've got like a front boot and a rear boot. But like I said, part of loving cars is the sound, the V8 roar, the V10 scream, that turbocharged flutter. It's things that make you smile. It's a way of telling people your car means business. If you hear a car coming past and it has a huge turbo surge, you know that's a monster. But again, if we think, do new cars really sound good? I mean, listen to the new Turbo S Porsche. Yes, it's fast, but it sounds horrible. And you know what? Listen to the old RS4. And then the new one.
This is in sports mode, with the valve open.
All the new laws on emissions and sound regulations are forcing manufacturers to make shit sounding cars. And as time goes on, it will only get worse. Imagine how crap the RS4 of 2028 will sound. And here's why I say no, why it's not that bad. For us petrolheads, we will still be able to buy our 335i's, our V8 Mercs, or what have you. But your average Joe that just wants a thing to get from point A to point B will be forced to buy an electric alternative, which doesn't really bother me. So if they want to go electric, sure, go for it. I don't necessarily think electric is the future, because the production of an electric car is really bad for the environment, plus electricity isn't really green either, but that's a video for a whole different time. But here is the one big issue with this law. Not all countries have the means to switch to electric within the next 10 years. I stay in South Africa and everything is slow here. There is no way we will have charging and supercharging spots all over the country by 2030. But we still have a huge demand for new cars. In South Africa, people love showing their worth by the car they drive. Yes, it's dumb financially, but it's what the people do. So everybody wants an Audi or BMW or Porsche. But if they can only make electric cars, and not all countries are ready for it, they will lose a lot of revenue, which will force the companies to raise the prices on all their vehicles. And if you think that countries like South Africa, or just Africa in general, doesn't buy expensive cars, trust me. Every 4th car is some expensive SUV or sedan, and public transport is shit here. So most people want cars. The people that have money would rather stay in a smaller house and have a car to get to work than overseas where the public transport system is actually good. And I'm sure we aren't the only country that will struggle to get a whole set of electric chargers in place within the next 10 years, especially with all the difficulties the world is facing with just surviving at the moment. We've got no clue when all of this is gonna end, and with how stuff is now, stuff's even moving slower than normally. Let me know what you guys think of this topic. Do you think it's fine? Do you think it's a good thing? I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I mean, like, for your average car, nobody even knows what engine is in a Fiesta. It's like, it's a 1 liter, but what do you call it? Like with a Supra, it's a 2JZ GTE. Everybody knows the name. What is the name of that tiny little motor, or the name of the VW Ups engine? It's a small engine, but you don't even know what they call it. You know what I mean? So the basic crappy engines nobody's gonna miss. but like the special, that one-off amazing, even like the new B58 that's in the BMWs, that's a really good engine. It's not a bad engine at all. Those are the engines you'll remember. And if you think electric, it's just going to be all cars are electric, so you won't have that like beloved motors anymore. It's just going to be, okay, that's a 500 horsepower electric motor and that's a 400 horsepower electric motor. You know what I mean? So that's something I'm definitely going to miss. Let me know what you guys think. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?